Hey everyone, Steve Kim here. So excited. Steve Kim Show, episode number 47. The April stats are in, and I'm here to give you the numbers as they pertain to the detached and townhome segments in the 416 and 905. So let's get right into the numbers. So let's take a look at the average detached home, what it sold for back in March in Toronto. The average detached home was selling around $1.268 million. Now, fast forward into April 2019, that detached home is now trading at $1.356 million. So we are seeing an appreciation in the detached segment in Toronto. Well, what happened in York Region? Well, in Richmond Hill back in March, that average detached home was trading at $1.37 million. Fast forward into April, that average detached home is now trading at $1.397 million. So an appreciation again. Well, in Markham, back in March, that average detached home was trading at $1.19 million. Moving into April 2019, that detached home is now trading at $1.258 million. And in Vaughan, back in March, that average detached home was trading at $1.17 million. Fast forward in April, we see an appreciation going now to $1.208 million. Now, months of inventory. This is all supply versus demand, right? So back in March in Toronto, for detached homes, months of inventory was at 2.6. Fast forward into April, that months of inventory is now dropped to 2.2. So definite signs of a seller's market in the 416. Well, in Richmond Hill back in March, the months of inventory was at 5.3, but we do see an increase, just a little bit of an increase in April. Now that's at 5.8 months of inventory. Well, in Markham, back in March 2019, we were at 3.1 months of inventory. Fast forward in April, we're now down at now we're up to 3.9 months of inventory. Now, I want to pay attention to this. I want you to really pay attention to Richmond Hill and Markham, because we've been talking a little about months of inventory, right? So lower the months of inventory, the stronger the demand, right? We see tightening in terms of inventory, not as much inventory in the market, right? So we see less inventory, and we start to see prices increase. But this is interesting because in Richmond Hill and in Vaughan, we saw detached homes increase as well as months of inventory. So that may also be due to the fact that the more expensive homes were selling in these regions, which is why we saw an appreciation in the detached segments. Well, in Vaughan, months of inventory, we went from 3.9 in March down to 3.1 in April. Now, the townhome segment, and we've seen an appreciation increase in price across the 416 and 905. So in Toronto, that average townhouse in March was trading at just over $942,000. Fast forward in April, that average townhome is now trading just over $964,000. Well, in Richmond Hill, we see a same type of appreciation. That average townhome in March was trading at just over $827,000. Fast forward into April, we see it trading just over $858,000. Now in Markham, back in March, we saw the average townhome trading just over $795,000. We see a little bit of a dip in April. That average townhome was trading just over $790,000. And then in Vaughan, we went from just over $815,000. Fast forward in April, that average townhome was now trading just over $824,000. Months of inventory, right? So these are all signs of its supply and demand. In the 416, we went from 1.3 to April 1.4 months of inventory. In Richmond Hill, we went from 2.9, and then in April, we saw 2.1 months of inventory. In Markham, we went from 2.7 in March down to 2.4 for April, and then in Vaughan, we went from 2.4 in March down to 2.2 months of inventory. So we are seeing townhome segment really, really tightening up, right? Which is why we see the appreciation in price, because apart from a larger condominium, this is still the most affordable housing option for a lot of people, first-time home buyers as well. Anyways, I hope you found these stats useful. As always, if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an evo, or come by and say hello. As always, be great, be kind, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.